In this video, I'm going to be breaking down and reviewing one of my most viewed basketball reels that I've posted on my Instagram. What's up, my name is Eli Clark. I'm a sports videographer and creative at App State. In this video, I'm going to be going through and breaking down the timeline for one of my most popular Instagram reels. This video has almost 100K views on Instagram, so it did pretty well. This video was a recap of the conference championship that App State won in basketball, so I knew that I wanted it to be quick, have quick cuts, and beat to a trendy song. This video has been edited mostly in DaVinci Resolve, but if you're a Premiere user, don't worry, all these techniques and same things can be applied in Premiere. None of these are just specific to DaVinci Resolve. Some of the clips have been edited in After Effects if they have more VFX in them, but I'll let you know which clips have been done in After Effects. If you want any tutorials on the effects that you see in this video, just let me know in the comments because I do plan on making a few tutorials on some of these effects. So hopping right here to DaVinci, you can see I have my timeline right here, and then I have the project window right here. If I scroll up here, I have my final video, my final rendered video up here, and I've just turned these clips off so that it's not too intensive on my computer. But to start this video, I knew I wanted to have something quick, something that caught the viewer's attention, and I thought what better way to do that than a hyperlapse. So if I play this right here, you can see this is the hyperlapse right here. It's just quick. The hyperlapse in total is like a second long. So if you don't know what a hyperlapse is, basically you just take a picture, take a step forward, take a picture, and you keep the same part in the frame in the same, like in the center of the frame basically. If that doesn't make sense, there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. I've even made a tutorial, but I might make an updated one for those of you that are curious. But it's a good way to just catch the attention of the viewer so that they watch throughout the entire video. You want to have something that they're just like, wow, at the beginning of the video. So for this hyperlapse, I have this adjustment layer right here, and all this is doing is adding a zoom blur. Now, zoom blur is not in Premiere, but I know it's in After Effects, and that's one thing I like about DaVinci is that it has a lot of these effects already built into it. But all that is this little blur on the edge that you can see here. And then that is it for the intro of this video. So what I do to transition to the next clip is I add this overlay right here. This is a really subtle overlay. You can see the arrow right here and just the little flares, but subtle, but it does make a little bit of a difference. And then we get right into the first clip. So this first clip, I knew I wanted it to hit on the beat drop. This is probably my favorite clip from all the clips that I had. It's just a big dunk, and you want to start with a highlight play. Not always, but a lot of the times I like to start one of the biggest plays so that, like I said, it catches the attention and engages the attention of the viewer. So I have this speed ramped right here, and then on the beat drop, you can see it speeds back up into the dunk, and then we have a shake right there too. So if I play it in full speed, you can see that's it right there. And then I have another overlay to transition into his reaction. So if I go frame by frame, you can see it zooms, and then there's an overlay, and then we keep zooming into his reaction. We have a zoom in on the dunk, or on the end of that dunk, and then we zoom into his reaction. I like to kind of go big play reaction, just because the reaction clips really just shows the emotion of whatever sport you're filming. So right here, I just have him kind of flexing and yelling, and this actually wasn't from the dunk that you just saw. This was from a different play. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was like a layup or something. But you would never know that if I didn't just sit here and tell you that. And then the other thing I did on this clip is I added this adjustment layer right here and added a radial blur. So it just gives a little bit of a blur to the outside of this clip and keeps his face in the center of that blur. Then we cut right to the next clip, and this is just a block. So you can see we have this normal speed, and then right on the block, I have a shake right here. And then we also zoom and slow down the clip. So if I play this full speed, you can see shake, zoom, and slow down. It's really quick, but it's a cool looking effect, especially on the impact when you zoom and then slow it down. Now getting into this next clip, this is the first clip that was edited in After Effects. So all I did was export a ProRes file from DaVinci Resolve into After Effects and then back into DaVinci Resolve. So All I did here was content aware fill his jersey, so where it says Mountaineers, now it has nothing, and then I just have this right on very quickly, so you can see it writes on, and then it's gonna flash off, flash back on, and then stay on. And all this clip was a clip of him just walking out of a timeout or something slowed down, but adding that Mountaineers logo flash and logo right on just adds a little bit of spice to the video. So you can see it full speed right there. And then we get right into this next clip. So this clip is just a behind the back pass to a layup, but the layup wasn't too exciting, but the behind the back pass was obviously really cool right there. So all I did was speed ramp this so you can see it slows down when he does the behind the back pass. And then I cut it right here because the layup, nobody really cares about the layup. Everybody just cares about the pass. If it was like a crazy dunk or something, maybe I would have let it play out, but I want to keep this video really short, really sweet, and just I want to keep all the clips relatively the same length. So I cut to his reaction after the pass of him going like this, and then just kind of add a zoom so you can see it starts there. And if I go frame by frame, we zoom into him, you know, doing whatever this is. Then we get into this next clip. This clip was a step back three, and he did make it. But like I said with the pass, I didn't want to keep following the ball throughout this whole clip because it just makes the clip longer than it needs to be. So I have him doing the step back and then releasing the ball. And then what I do is cut to this next clip of him shooting from almost the exact same position, except this angle was up from somewhere in the stands, and this angle I was sitting on the baseline. Now these are two different games. As you can see, he's wearing a black jersey and this guy's wearing a navy blue jersey. But once again, like I said, if I didn't just sit here and tell you that, you probably would have never known. So I just have him releasing the ball here, and then I have him starting a shooting motion and releasing the ball here. So if I play this all the way through, you can see that's what that looks like, and then I just slow it down when it swishes. Now this next clip is one of my favorite parts of the video, and all it is Donovan just going like this, holding up three and doing a three-point celebration. It wasn't speed ramped, it wasn't anything, but I added a content aware fill right here. So you can see the lines look a little bit wonky in some places, and that's because of the content aware fill. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, but with how fast the video is, you would never know if I didn't tell you. So all it is right here, if I go frame by frame, you can see I have him just fade on, and once again it's just a subtle little effect that people are like, whoa, like what just happened? If I play this full speed, you can see it fades on right there, and then we go straight into this dunk and warm-ups, and this is just a little windmill dunk from this guy. He's like 5'9", 5'10", so it looks a lot better than like a 6'10", 6'11" dude doing it. But I just did a little speed ramp there, and then on this hit, like on the dunk, I add a shake into the next clip, and then there is a flash here and a radio blur. So this is actually baked into the clip, so I have a radio blur here, and then we have flashes also. Flashes were on the beat of the song, so you can see how that looks, and then we have a slight zoom in as well. So that's what I like to do to a lot of clips. I like to just add a slight little zoom in. It just makes every clip a little bit more dynamic. So hopping into the next clip, we have this nice spin move here. I keep it pretty much normal speed until he goes up for this little reverse layup, and then slow that down. Or I didn't even slow it down, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just keep this the same speed all the way through. I think this was sped up to actually like 110 or 115%. But yeah, it was just a nice little move. You want to keep it going quick, so you don't want to have too much slow motion. Next, we have this little step back right here, and when this guy kind of starts sliding this way is when I'm going to slow it down and then speed it back up and watch the ball go in. So once he releases it, I sped it up until it goes in the net and then slow it down a little bit. And then once again, after he shoots, I'm going to cut to a reaction of him just yelling. This was also at a completely different time in the game. I don't really remember what he was looking at me yelling for, but it just worked with this clip. So we have like half a second of this clip, and then we go right into a pass. And this is just a good little pass to our big guy who dunks it. I keep that normal speed and then add a shake on the dunk. And then once again, I cut to another angle that kind of looks like the same dunk. So you would never know, once again, if I didn't tell you. It's just two different angles and they look almost the exact same. But I slow this down a little bit right here on the dunk. And then we're gonna cut to a celebration shot since we're wanting to end the video pretty soon. So this is just a shot of them holding up the trophy, you know, nothing crazy. And then we have Donovan walking back into the locker room with the Sun Belt Conference Championship trophy. And then I have a little crossfade into this part of the clip, which I made black and white. So it goes from color to black and white, and then our little Instinct logo. Okay, so now that we have gone through the actual video part of it, I'm going to talk a little bit about the audio. Now, I'm not going to go totally in depth with the sound design. I'll make another video on that, but I do want to just kind of show you a little bit of how I sound designed this video. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and mute this song, because you know the song already. The song has nothing to do with sound design, and I'm just going to kind of go through each layer of my sound design here. So for this first layer, I have this labeled crowd, and all this is going to be is the crowd audio that is matched up with like dunks and shots and stuff like that. And all of this audio was recorded in my mic and camera. So none of this is like pulled from another source or anything like that. This is all stuff that I shot. So let me play this through and let you hear this. Okay, so you heard the crowd audio. You can hear it's not too loud because I don't want it to overshadow the music or any of the other sound effects, but I do want you to obviously be able to hear it because I think that is a very important part of sports edits. The crowd, the atmosphere is what makes sports sports, so you definitely want to have that included. That's why when I see videos with just music, I'm like, if you just had like some crowd audio, some cheering, stuff like that, it just brings the video together so much more. The only other thing I really did for the crowd audio is I added these crossfades, and what crossfades do is just kind of fades both of the end of the first audio and the start of the next audio together so that there's not like a hard cut and you can't really tell that there's a cut in between the audios. And then for this last clip over here, I added a low pass effect just to signal that the video is slowing down and it's about to end. So whenever it goes black and white is when I add that low pass, and that is basically what just makes it sound like it's kind of underwater. So you can hear that right there. I think it sounds really cool. And it's easy to do that in Premiere. You just literally put on the low pass effect. But in DaVinci, all you want to do is click on this audio, come down to your equalizer, and make it look just like this right here, and then you will have that low pass effect. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mute the crowd audio, and I'm going to play this video through with just the added in sound effects. Okay, so you heard those sound effects, and I'm going to kind of just go through and explain what each one of them are. So for this hyperlapse right here, I have a ticker sound effect, which is where you hear like the tick, 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 tick. That's what that is, and I have another like wind whoosh or something like that. I think that's what it's called. And this just helps you to kind of hear the motion and the really fast motion. So if I play this, you can hear it here. You can hear the wind, you can hear that ticker sound effect, and it just feels like you're moving really fast. Then when you get to about this point in the hyperlapse, you start to hear that little high-pitched sound effect, and what that is called is a riser. So a riser just kind of builds anticipation, and then at the end of the riser, I have an impact on the dunk. So I'll let you hear that right here. So you hear that impact on the dunk right there, and then I add a whoosh for the transition. So you hear that whoosh when this overlay comes through, and when we zoom in on his face is when that whoosh happens. And then we have this big block. So for this block, I have a whoosh leading up to the block when he like raises up to go block it, and then I have an impact when he actually blocks it on that shake. So you hear that right there. That's all that is really. And then for this, I don't have anything until the flash happens. So when the flash of the Mountaineers happens, you can hear this little beep right there. It's literally like a camera autofocus sound effect is all that is. And then for this behind the back pass, I have a whoosh on the pass, and then nothing until this shot right here, which goes all the way through into a swish when the ball goes through the net. Then we have nothing for this sound effect, or for this clip, and then we have this little whoosh sound effect, so low rumble, if you will, for this windmill, and then another impact on the dunk. So you can see there's kind of a pattern to this, like when they're leading up to an action or something like that, I'll have a whoosh or a riser, and then when the dunk actually happens or when the ball goes through, I'll have an impact or a swoosh sound effect. Then for this next clip, I actually took a clip of him yelling closer to me from a different game and added this in here when he does this yell, and then I also added a low pass to this, so it just kind of gives that cool little like yell sound effect as you can hear right there. And then transitioning into this next clip, on this spin I have like a sword slide sound effect that you can hear right there, and then nothing else for the rest of that clip. And then when he does this little like step back right here, I have a little cloth whoosh, I think is what it's called, and then another one when he releases the ball there, and then a swish once it goes through the net. And we don't really have anything right here, but I'll have a whoosh to transition, and for this pass it's kind of like an all-in-one, so it's for both the transition. It starts with the transition between these clips and then goes into this pass right here, and then we have a whoosh leading up to the dunk, and then we have an impact on the actual dunk right there. And then once again we have another, this is actually a swoosh sound effect. It sounds more like a dunk, which is why I used it for the dunk, but you can hear that right there. And then that's basically it. The rest of this is just audio that was picked up in camera of them celebrating and stuff like that. And then this fades out, and then the song fades out, and then that is it for the audio. So the only other thing that I did not talk about in this video is the color, and if you want to color grade your videos like you saw in this video, I do sell a LUT pack. It will be in the link in the description if you want to check that out, but they are just high quality LUTs for basketball or any other indoor sport. So if you want to support the channel, go check that out. The link will be in the description. Overall, I hope this video really did help you out. I plan to do a few more of these on just some upcoming videos and projects that I have to work on, but if you have any questions or anything else like that, drop them in the comments below. If this video helped you out or you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.